Alright, welcome back guys to another Rainbow Six extraction video. Today we're going to be going over a certain build for one of the operators. Is going to be Alibi. And for this one, we're going to be doing what I want to be calling the Speed Demon build. Someone asked for a certain request, or had a request for this certain build. Uh, One showing off the 3-round burst option for the SMG or the MX4 Storm, and I will also be going over the actual speed build that I had in past posts that I usually put on the Reddit that you can actually go find, and it's more of like an alternative kind of play, more of aggressive or snappier kind of build. Uh, Really recommended for players that know the ins and outs of every single mechanic or most of the core mechanics in the game and how to manipulate the AI and things like that. But I mean, it's really usable for any kind of player. It's just more recommended for those kind of players. So for this one, for the actual gun, I'll be running the muzzle brake mostly for the 3-round burst option. The muzzle brake, even though it does say it reduces the overall weapon kick of a single shot firing, it actually helps with the first around 6 shots of the gun, which you will actually see when you go to the gun pattern here, when you have the recoil pattern of the blue and to the yellow section, or the little recoil patterns there, are a lot smaller, while the orange and red stay pretty large and sporadic. And as you can see, when I take that off, the blue and the yellow actually get larger for the actual recoil pattern there. So those will actually go up, and of course, since those are scaling upwards, it'll take the red and have it way off the actual pattern there. So it makes it to where that the recoil is much worse. So the compensator, this is reduces the recoil spread over time for rapid firing. That is correct, but that helps more for the orange and the red section of the recoil pattern. So if you see here, like if I put on the muzzle brake, you can see the orange little circle is kind of more wider and it has more of a horizontal kind of recoil pattern. I can put on the compensator and it makes it to where it's more in line of being more of an actual circle. So it kind of tightens up the pellet, or not the pellet spread, the bullet spread and the general area. So it does technically help, but not near as much as the muzzle brake would. But it's more for the compensator is more for rapid fire guns, while the muzzle brake is more for slower rate of fire guns or DMRs or 3-round bursts. The gun also has an extended barrel if you want to make it to where it's more like an assault rifle, but that requires a little bit more recoil control since they're not using the other two attachments. On top of this, I'll be running an angle grip. This makes it to where that you have a way faster ADS time, around 30%, I think. It is the pre-nerfed angle grip. It's not the nerfed version that's currently in Rainbow Six Siege, so it is the really snappy version. This is really good on Alibi because she has the enhanced reflexes perk that you get on level 5 or advancement 5, and it makes it to where that you can reload, aim, and have weapon swapping speed increased by 35%, so a whole 65% overall of your actual ADS speed altogether. The gun has a 30-round magazine instead of belt-fed magazines, so it reloads a lot faster. Everything about it handles faster. So again, I'll put on the muzzle brake for this. And I also have the 1.5 times zoom on. That gives me a little bit extra zoom for a little bit longer range. From my post, like I said, like you want to make it to where it is a little bit more for getting accurate shots off, so I do run the highest zoom scope I can. But I usually don't run anything higher than the 1.5 or 2 times because this game is also fairly close quarters, as many people stated. So I find like the good sweet middle ground between them, so you're really flexible in any kind of range there. With this, secondary is really up to you. It's not really part of the whole setup. It's just whatever fits you. And the final piece of gear is going to be the rush pistol. You can unlock this by playing the Maelstrom protocol and get like the certain RC credits in order to buy this gear or this actual equipment here, or unless you actually play the limited time mode and you got it for free. So it's actually going to be really solid. I want to jump into a game and show you guys how this thing is going to be really playing out. I'm not going to be playing like an actual real match. I'm going to go into a VR training because it's really just a visual thing. It's going to show you like the general feel and how it's going to be playing out. It's kind of funny because, you know, I had a post up on Reddit and a lot of people seem to hate this kind of build and the kind of 3-round burst option. And I find it funny because it's giving options for players and showing them a little bit more flexible ways of playing the game if they don't want to play the really slow and usually technically the correct way of doing it if you really wanted to, but you can pull off some crazy kind of builds like this and get away with it if you do it right. I find Alibi to be one of the best because she's really fast. She's second to fastest operator at a 4 speed instead of a 5. And I mean, she already has all the other things that really make her faster, and she has holograms that really take the heat if she gets in trouble. So she can easily get out of situations that she or most players wouldn't really be able to get out of. So overall, she's a really solid operator, I think. And her prestige set or gear sets look pretty dang cool, so I run her as well. So this is what I mean by the actual flick of the weapon, like it's almost near instant, like the animation's almost not there. And yeah, it keeps popping up all that kind of stuff. It's more or less a tutorial for you guys, for everyone that already went through it. But you can also switch it over to 3-round burst. And there you go. So you can also have the 3-round burst and fire it off. Now, I do recommend kind of holding it back a little bit when you're firing like crazy. The gun, again, does still kick a little bit since it does have a large amount of recoil by default. A lot of people say they can control it just fine. I think that's more for PC players that's able to do that a little bit better, but it's not necessarily the best. And this, you know, like this is firing like full auto kind of deal, so I actually have to hold it down a little bit. I am playing on the PS5 at the moment, so this is what I'm gonna be doing here. So, I mean, there's the 3-round burst. You can switch off from that. You can fire it really dang quickly, so it has a good rate of fire, so you can almost fire it like it's fully automatic, or you know, fire it automatic. Either one really works. You can run really fast. I mean, again, 4 speed, so everyone knows how she runs. You can pump yourself full of speed juice for the rush pistol and run, you know, at Mach 5 speeds. Snap on the enemies, light them up. You can also run this with an actual suppressor to keep a little bit of stealth going. So you can really become like the most like covert op kind of super rush successful kind of player. So you can mix and match a little bit of this whole build, so it's not really just set up exactly how I showed it on my post. So get creative with it by all means. Yeah, so just a little bit of a demonstration for you guys. Try it out in the match if you really want to. If you find it interesting, let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one.